Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. This is Jonas Reports for the 4th of December. We keep pushing towards new highs, even here in pre-market, breaking out to new ones. Very consistent with MBI magenta over the yellow here. It's pretty clean. And you can see from MBI white, there really isn't much of a whole short interest at this particular stage. Everything's pretty much in happy cruise control. Of course, there could always be flies in the ointment. Of course, we see the action in Syria and Israel, as well as in Ukraine and Russia, and that expansion. So those can all throw quite a damper on the mood very quickly. Nasdaq also matching where the S&P is finally, and that congruency now makes it a little bit easier when we look at readings and see divergences. They'll be a little bit more valuable in that sense, simply because we'll be able to see that there was parity and now we have a differential from it. So it's still weak from a shakeout standpoint, but building. So as long as it maxes out past the previous spike here at the highs, everything should be fine. We'll wait and see. Treasury's going absolutely nowhere. And most of this is just the reality that the Fed hasn't really got an idea of how things are going to go in the near term. And I think that also from a market standpoint, what's the incentive? I mean, if rates are dropping, the only place to be is the market, and that's why you see new highs. Oil, still modestly in that middle range. It's too high for any kind of meaningful reduction in price, but as far as inflation goes, but you know how quickly that changes really is going to become a question as to what the first orders are coming out of a new administration. But that's still 50 days away, so until then, it's just speculation. And while speculation drives the market in a lot of cases, sometimes you still need hard data, and whether or not the demand exists in the world at this particular stage. We start to see an increase of it. I know we already see optimism improving in America, but that doesn't translate necessarily immediately into actual growth. And as oil rises, euro suffers, and talked relentlessly about the issues that the Eurozone has, and they're only going to be exacerbated as they send more and more weaponry into Ukraine and drive their deficits while they were trying to pull the 1980 Ronald Reagan, bankrupt Russia construct. Not working so well. I mean, Russia's now going to move 30% of their budget almost into military spending. So they're obviously preparing for something far more extensive. And gold pretty much flatlining at this particular stage because, again, we're still in this flux of uncertainty. And as long as that remains, you're going to get some volatility. But for the most side, you still haven't changed structural deficits, those kinds of things. And the same thing for Bitcoin. Floating around its highs, it's just going to take some excitement level to generate a new run, so to speak. And the same thing with ETH. But again, I've always talked about it. The problems with all of those is we get back to the same situation: functionality. Until they have functionality, it's a problem. When we move to a 5-minute range intraday, we had the early weakness. Obviously, again, you get puts excited and then you flip them over to the call side of it. But overall, it just, again, is that gamma play back and forth for the option situation here in post-market or European session at this particular stage. Pretty strong to the upside. So I'll clean action. I think that we're just going to be continuing in a little pause mode here while everyone collects themselves and kind of decides this is the likely outcome going forward, and we really haven't reached that state at this particular point. So we'll just continue to follow the readings. As always, anything relevant, open on the Skype chat. Have a good one. Trade well.